ReadWorks Spanish-English paired texts were developed with the most up-to-date research on building background knowledge and how English language learners build reading comprehension. The Center for the Improvement of Early Reading Achievement states that ELLs should learn to read initially in their first language. When a student has an opportunity to read both in their native language and English, they tap into linguistic resources that may not otherwise be accessible. The inclusion of native language materials lead to improved outcomes in English reading, including spelling and comprehension. Research has also shown that when prior knowledge is equal, students' reading comprehension is essentially the same, whether for strong or weak readers. So in other words, gaps in comprehension are often gaps in knowledge. What students know about the topic of a text influences how well they comprehend that text. And due to various factors, many Spanish-English bilingual children in the US demonstrate low reading comprehension outcomes, and ReadWorks is working to shift these outcomes and ensure that teachers can best support ELLs easily, effectively, and most importantly, for free. English language learners come into the classroom with a host of language skills. The language they are more proficient in can be used to develop reading comprehension skills because they are transferable across languages. Our Spanish-English paired texts build on the asset of multilingualism and embolden students in their English language development. The Spanish-English paired texts are designed to help ELLs make connections between Spanish and English language passages. They also increase background knowledge about a topic so students can better understand what they're reading. Starting with familiar and concrete topics can support ELLs in learning the English words and labels for the things and concepts they already know in their first languages. Research shows culturally relevant texts give readers the ability to draw on lexical, syntactical, and semantic knowledge from their first languages to support their English reading. Sorry. Oh, I felt a sneeze coming on. Culture also serves as a means of bridging comprehension across languages because when a student feels that the text represents them, they are able to connect with the text in a more personal way, which can lead to increased motivation in addition to drawing upon their existing knowledge. These paired texts were created with students in mind. Audio support is available to students so that they can listen to passages. Many of the passages are also authored by heritage speakers from diverse backgrounds, like ELL students themselves. The Spanish-English paired texts also foster a sense of inclusion as they allow you to bring your ELL students into class discussions without having to take away time from your lessons. There are 3 components to the Spanish-English paired text. So first, you have a Spanish language passage, and then you have an English language passage. That English language passage is not a direct translation of the Spanish passage, but it is topically connected. It's related to the Spanish language passage. And then third, there's a comprehension question set, and that's for the English passage. Students can build background knowledge in the language they're more comfortable in first, and the Spanish passage serves as a bridge to that English text. There are 3 steps in the routine. So first, students read the Spanish language passage. Second, they read the English language passage. And then finally, they complete the comprehension question set, which strengthens strategic reading, which is one of our pillars of reading comprehension. So now that I've told you about the Spanish English texts, I want to walk you through how to locate them on the website and point out some really cool features. You'll also notice that I will look away from the camera, but I'm just looking at my second screen. So if you are completely new to ReadWorks, you can log in, you can sign up for a free account. It takes less than a minute. And I also want to point out another great feature. We recently updated the options when you sign up for a class. And if you already have an existing account, you can go back and change it. But for a while, it was just K to 12 options that you could choose. But you can actually, for those of you who may be working with adults learning to read, we do have that option now. So just wanted to call that out. All right, I'm going to log into my teacher account. And then once you, we see on the home page the Spanish English pair texts already pop up, but we change this page a lot. So, you may not find it here the next time you come on. There are a couple ways to access them. I also want to point out the teacher guide on the top of the screen between donate and alignments. The teacher guide has tons of information. If you're new, if you're returning, I do recommend checking it out. In the section, using our content effectively, we link you to a page to learn more about the Spanish English pair texts. This page is also linked on the resources page. You can access that by clicking on the bottom green button. All right, so you can head over to the content page, and in the filter on the left side, you can select Spanish English for ELLs. And this is going to generate all of our Spanish English paired texts. We offer them for grades 2 to 5. We do hope to expand this, but right now we have 2nd to 5th grade available for you. I'm going to click on the first result. I just want to point out a few things. We offer audio in Spanish for the Spanish language passage. Students can also listen to the captions in Spanish. There are 2 passages, right? So here's that English language passage. And you can assign digitally or print. If you're interested in printing, you can click on print, and this will generate a printable PDF. So you have your Spanish language text and then your English language text, and then the question set for the English passage. And to assign digitally, you click on Assign, and you can include those comprehension questions. And I would recommend including audio. You can assign that way. Now that I've assigned it to a class, I'm going to, actually, before I do that, because I do want to show you what it looks like from the student perspective. Another really great feature, if you're not aware, when you go to class admin and you select a class, you can click on your student's name, and you actually have the option to select extra support features. So if they speak another language at home, you can select that, and they would be able to see directions and listen to directions in that language they speak at home. So that's another great way to support your ELL students. All right, now I'm going to log in as a student. And we see the Spanish English paired text that was just assigned. I also want to point out that when students are assigned this, they're going to be able to see the directions in English and Spanish. And this basically just lets them know you're going to read the Spanish article and then the English article and then answer the questions. So at the top of the screen, you'll see the audio option because we did select audio. And I'm not sure if you can hear it. I'll press play. So the audio is in Spanish for the Spanish text. Students can also adjust the speed of the audio. They have a number of accessibility features at the top of the screen, like expanding for a distraction-free view. They can increase the text size. So that would be medium, large, and extra large. Students can include paragraph numbers, and they can use the guided reading strip. I also want to point out, for those of you who are familiar with our vocabulary widget, oftentimes when the words are bolded in a passage, they're also blue and you can click on them. This is a feature that is going to be available in the coming months so that vocabulary words in the Spanish text, students will be able to click on them. I'm going to show you in the English passage an example. So here we see a bolded word in blue. That's the vocabulary word. This will also, as you can see here, these bolded words, these will also be clickable in the coming months. So stay tuned for that. And when the vocabulary word is a noun, there will usually be an image to support their understanding of that word, and they can listen to the correct pronunciation of the word. They can listen to the definition. Anytime there's that audio symbol, that just means they can click on it to listen. This also includes audio for the English passage as well. So after they've read the Spanish passage, then the English passage, it takes them to the comprehension questions. I'm just gonna okay. All right, so now I'm going to log out of the student account. I'm going to go back into the teacher account, because once your student completes the assignment or the multiple choice, you can actually see their responses that way. Multiple choice questions are automatically graded. Green means they got it correct. Red means it was incorrect. And because our question sets follow a consistent template, you can tell the type of question. So imagine as all your students are completing this, you can look through and see, okay, where do I see a lot of green? What do I see a lot of red? What areas do I need to revisit? Right, now that brings me to almost the end. I do want to make sure that I answer any questions you may have. So let me take a look. Okay. Can the Spanish-English paired texts also be used as articles of the day? So I would still recommend using article a day as a daily routine. Unfortunately, we don't have enough Spanish-English paired texts for you to implement it as an article a day routine. As I showed you on our site, we have about 65 in total for grades 2 to 5. So these can be an amazing resource to use in addition to the article a day routine. Okay. For teachers who have used the Spanish-English paired texts routine, what kinds of activities are you doing with the others while the Spanish speakers are reading their article? This is a really great question, and there's a lot of flexibility with how you decide to use this. Let's say you assign the Spanish passage ahead of time to students. whether it's for homework or for bright work. And then you have everyone, read the English passage at the same time. There's a lot of flexibility with how you choose to use it. But this is a really great question. Okay, I don't see any additional questions for now, but I just want to let you know I can be reached at tamika@readworks.org. That's TAMIKA@readworks.org. If you have a question afterwards or as you're navigating the website and looking for the Spanish English paired texts as you're using them, if something comes up, please feel free to reach out. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We'll be talking about alignments, readworks.org/webinars. Take care, everyone. Bye.